Early in the serial, Zuko Ozai quoted Ozai Azuly's words. "Your sister was born lucky, and you, Zuko, were lucky to be born at all. Let me break it down. Ozai believes Zuko must be cruel and aggressive to hold the throne, so he raises him with torture from childhood. Ozai thinks that by humiliation, Zuko he will forge him into a great warrior, since Zuko will constantly try to prove his worth. But in backfires, Ozai humiliates his son, but not his daughter. As a result, Zuko grows up with development gaps in his head. There is really no difference between a 5-year-old boy and 5-year-old girl. Difference starts appearing around 20, with puberty. Until then, children are largely the same, with only physical differences and social assigned gender roles. Physically, girls are not stronger than boys in this childhood before puberty. Zuko resists these attempts by humiliation, sleeps up somewhere, and in humiliation again. In other words, his upbringing is utterly toxic. The intention is noble, to prepare him for the throne, but in practice, Zuko is act and is punished, or hesitates and is punished. The child never understands what's going on. This fuels his resistance throughout the serial. Zuko is traveling and suddenly gets very hungry. He sees a man cooking meat and thinks of taking it by the force. But the man has a pregnant wife, and this stops Zuko, Ozai's son. Eventually, local storeholders seize Zuko Ozai's provision. A boy, the reason Zuko was robbed, offers help, bringing him home, feeds him, and finds him work. But Zuko doesn't know how to work. He knows only one thing: thief, banditry, kill others, and can't even walk. But he's noble, but can't walk. Zuko experiences flashbacks. Sometimes he interacts with his mother, sometimes plays with Azuly and her friends. Here we see details of Azuly, a brigand that Ozai Azuly praises. She can mimic and sense the right moment to say the correct words. From childhood, she is cynical, very much like her father, which is why he praises her. Zuko, Ozai's son, meanwhile, spends more time with his uncle and develops empathy. Even Azuly's opinion of her uncle, he would have made a terrible emperor, unlike their father. This cynicism harms her. Cynicism for its own sake, directed against family, not strangers, your closet allies, your nearest family, yet she treats them with hardened, bitter cynicism. No wonder Ozai Azuly lost the battle. Lost the war, battle. Flashbacks continues. Zuko interacts with Azuly after learning their cousin Lieutenant Iroh Azuly's son died in battle, and Iroh returns from war. Azuly cruelly comments that Uncle Iroh Azuly is weak and a coward. She's Ozai Azuly's favorite because she mirrors his character. He also tries to do right by the family, uses cynicism as a political tool, but it creates enormous problems. In the end, Ozai will pay for his cynicism. But now, with blood in his case, Azuly will also pay them, will become poor captives. People today also pay the cynicism. I'm not even talking about slaves fighting, slaves for no reason. I mean aborting. People invented condoms to enjoy sex without having children. Yet abortion is still widespread. Millions have died as a result. Conditions exist to prevent abortion, but people act cynically. Open disagreement for sharing moral norms has become normalized. What a strange world we live in. Headlines are full of disasters. Everyone in an enemy police, government, men, women, helping even strangers, children is risky. People pay with suffering for cynicism. Maybe 1 in 100, God willing, is truly happy. The same applies to relationships. Only 1 of 2 of 100 couples are genuinely happy. The rest hate each other, plot, insult, humiliate each other ritually. People are not just going to pay later for updating moral standards, they are already paying. And you are paying. Take 10 minutes away from your phone, stop watching Skibidi Toilet, and just feel the tension from doing nothing. Can you do that? I think no. Although the pussy contains her father's cynicism, baiting even her grandfather claiming he was no longer a might-be fire lord. In reality, she's echoing Ozai's Azulon's words. Ozai Azulon's needed argument for killing his own father. He could be just say, I'm cruel and aggressive and want power, obey me or die. He had to justify that Ira Azulon was no longer strong, so it was acceptable to kill family. This is cynicism. Generation before you built an emperor, and now you think you be the smartest. The previous generation were idiots, so they built the foundations that theoretically allows you to be emperor. You think you is genius. You are genius, of course. Without Ira Azulon's strategies with the White Lotus, Avatar and Zuko Ozai rise to the throne. Ozai Azulon would have ruined all his and Kato's legacy, not in a climatic battle, but simply by slaughtering their lives for no reason. Ozai Azulon, Zuko Ozai, and Pussy Azuly presents before Azulon Sozin. Ozai Azulon asks a specific question in the battle at Wounded Knee. How did you outmaneuver your great-grandfather? Azuly immediately gives the correct answer. He advanced with the time to get the advantage. Advance. Then she demonstrates kung fu moves. Zuko Ozai gets frustrated and wants to present himself, but fails. Azulon Sozin loses patience. Ozai, enough with this circus. Just say what you want. Azulon Sozin doesn't think Zuko Ozai's presentation is circus. He knows a 5-year-old girl can't understand war. She's never been on a battlefield, carried wounded soldier, or stood behind a shield wall. She's recurring memorized words and moves taught by Ozai. Zuko meanwhile thinks he's being blamed. The oration starts not from Zuko's presentation, but from Ozai's insistence on showcasing his perfect children. Zuko steps in to defend the boy. He defeated all soldiers quite effectively, but once people learn he's Prince Zuko Ozai, everyone turns against him. The citizens are short-sighted. They don't question how Prince Zuko Ozai ended up in the throne. He helped them, saved the children from several deaths, saved a woman, and they thinking it's fine to hate him just because that's the habit. Recognizing they hatred and reconsidering it would be too difficult.